Hi, my name's Kat. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to run through a gentle mobility sequence, which you can use as a warm-up when you first get up out of bed in the morning, just to get all those aches and pains and creaks out, or you can use it as a warm-up for exercise. It's very gentle. There is another form of mobility training that you can do with a lot more tension, where you really get strength and everything into the joints. But this is a great way to just promote blood flow, wake yourself up, and just keep that mapping system to the brain working to move the joints in all directions. It's kind of like putting WD-40 in the joints to lubricate them and mobilize them. And you move a lot more efficiently the more you do this sort of movement as well. So starting with our feet. So grounding down through the feet. Really push down all four corners of the feet. And then see if you can lift just your big toes. And then drop your big toes down and see if you can lift just your little toes. And then we alternate between the two. Now, the first time I was showing this, I couldn't do it. So if you can't do it either, that's okay. It's very common. But it's easy to get that mapping system back to the brain the more you practice. So to begin with, just try your best. You may even need your hands to assist. And then over time it will get easier. And the more you can control your feet, the better we walk, the better it works all the way up the chain through knees, hips, the rest of the body. And then when you get to the point where you can do it really well, you try not to move the ankles. To begin with, the ankles will slightly roll in and out to help you and to compensate. Good. Then we're going to lift one foot and draw a circle with the ankle, trying to make that circle as large as you can. Mine's clicking. And we go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then we go back the other way. Big circle as much as you can. Working on our balance at the same time. You can do this sitting down though. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Now tuck your toes under and push into the top of the foot gently. Good. And release. Now point and flex, point and flex, point, flex. Good. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Then planting the foot. I'm going to try and roll side to side. So pronation to supination, back to as deep into each direction as you can. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Great, then over to the other side. Circle. Trying to make that circle as large as possible. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back the other way. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tuck the toes under, push into the top of the foot. And then we bring it forward, forward, and point and flex, point, flex. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And grounding down through that foot. Now it's not just a matter of moving the knee from side to side. It's more we're focusing on the actual ankle and the foot rolling side to side. And the more we do this, it sends a signal to the brain to say that it feels safe in this movement. So if you were to roll your ankle and it was used to this sort of movement, it was strong in these sort of positions, then less likely to hurt yourself because the body's familiar, the brain is familiar with it. However, if you don't do this sort of movement and you go to roll your ankle, then that sends a signal to the brain going, I'm in trouble, help, and it seizes everything up, and then we hurt ourselves. Good. All right. Then we'll bring the legs together and circle your knees all the way around, straightening them completely at the back. Ideally without holding on, but if you need to hold on to a chair, you can. And then back the other way. Great, and then we do the same thing with the legs separate. So we go in, around, and straighten. This is also making the ankles roll in and out as well. Looks funky too. And then we go back the other way. It's great for our knee health to move like this and not just our forward and back hinge movement, which over time, like a credit card, if you bend it forward and back enough times, it breaks. Great, now we come up into the hips. So drawing a big circle with the hips. Two more in this direction. And we go back the other way. Two more. And then soften into the knees. Let's draw a figure eight with the hips. So one goes forward and one goes back. So if you think of the femur bone, the thigh bone up into the hip joint, that's what's moving. So it's not just about a sexy sway. And then we go back the other direction. So there's usually one way that feels a little bit more robotic, weird, and takes the brain a moment to compute. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Now lifting one leg up, once again try and do this without holding on, but if you need to hold on, absolutely fine. Keep the foot flexed and active. We're going to draw a big circle into that hip joint, up through center, circling around. So this will definitely warm the hips and the glutes. Two more in this direction. And let's go back the other way. So like a little kick and around, kick and around. So if any of these movements cause pain, decrease the range of motion and the speed, but still move. You don't want to lose mobility, and if you don't move it, you lose it. Discomfort's okay, but don't push through pain. Let's go over to the other side. Flex the foot, circling around. One more in this direction. And then we kick it back the other way. So don't go too fast. Actually, the slower you go and the more tension you have in the body, the better, or the more you'll get out of it. But if you're just wanting to move freely and gently, then any movement is better than nothing. Let's go 4. Oh, definitely feeling warm. 3, 2, and 1. Right. All right, then just letting the arms flop. Do a little twist from side to side. Getting rotation into your thoracic spine, your upper back. And then softening into the knees. Now open up the chest. And then exhale, round the spine and suck your belly in. So inhale, little back bend, open the chest. Exhale, scoop and round. So inhale, exhale, actively engaging the core. Let's go 3 more. Good. And then stepping nice and wide. Big side stretch, opening up the side of the body. And over. Let's go again. Let's do 1 more on both sides. Awesome. Now, circle out the wrists. And then we'll go back the other way. Three, 2, and 1. Right. Now with our shoulders, there's lots of different movements we make with our shoulders. We'll do some circles, making your fists standing up nice and tall. Circle all the way up and around. Trying to get into your max range of motion that doesn't cause any pain. We're trying not to compensate with movement of the spine. So no flaring of the ribs. Keeping everything nice and still except those shoulders. I like to add the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Let's go 3 more. And then go back the other way. Three more. Last one. Whew. All right. Now, imagine you're holding onto some doorknobs. So this is only the shoulders. Before we did a similar movement, but it was our whole spine. This one, just the shoulder blades roll forward and then tuck the shoulder blades in towards the spine. So roll it forward and tuck. You can do this sitting down if you want or stay standing. Let's go 3 more. I can definitely feel those muscles starting to fatigue. It's not intense movement, but it is effective. Good, and release. Let's do some shrugging. We shrug and down, shrug and down. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now imagine we're drawing a box with your shoulders. So we go up, forward, down, back as far as you can. Up, forward, down, back. Up, forward, down, back, just with the shoulders. Let's go back the other way. Forward, lift, back and down. Forward, lift, back and down. Two more. Forward, lift, back and down. Last one. And down. Good. Shake it out. Now imagining you've got a wall behind you and putting your fingers up against that wall. You're going to slide the arms down the wall, shoulder blades in towards your spine, and then inhale, reaching up. This one's great for our posture when we have rounded shoulders. So I like to visualize angel wings. The wings are going out and then we're tucking them away to hide them. Let's go 4 more. Last 2. Beautiful. Shake it out. Now, bring your arms out to the side. Rotate one palm backwards. I'm going to bring it all the way up into the middle of the back, and then your top hand palm is going to come down towards your back. Then we open back, swap the hand positions. The back of the hand on your bottom hand touching the spine, palm of your hand on the top hand touching the spine. We're trying to keep the arms as wide and pulled back as possible without flaring into the rib cage. So I'll do a couple of these facing the other way so you can see. Don't have to get your fingertips together like I do, especially to begin with. Let's do another 1 more on both sides. Beautiful. All right, the rest we can do seated either on the floor or in a chair. We actually, hold that thought. We will do some on the floor and then you can sit on a chair if you want to. So sitting down, we're going to have the legs as wide or wider than your shoulders. Try and sit as far upright as you can. We drop one knee down and then the other. If you're really tight into the hips, you may need to lean quite far back. If getting onto the floor isn't an option, you can still windshield wiper your legs from side to side on a chair. The floor, you're just going to get a lot deeper. This one is really good for the hips and the lower back. And as mentioned, the more tension you put into it and activation you put into it, the more you get out of the exercise. But when that tension's not there, it's a bit more comfortable. So then we fall to one side, sitting upright as much as you can. You may be back here, that's okay. Wherever you are, we're going to try and circle into the hip. That movement may be really, really small to begin with. You may feel quite a lot of restriction in your actual hip joint. If it feels like bone on bone, like just not feeling right, then make sure you modify. You can do a lot smaller movement. You can adjust your position. But if it's just discomfort because it's tight, and push through that, you'll be okay. Discomfort generates change. And we kind of have to test our pain threshold sometimes, because if we don't ever push it a little bit, then we hit that pain threshold quicker and easier. But if it's the kind of pain that generates like a a sweat response, heart rate fast response, then obviously don't push through that kind of pain. We go back the other way. I've got 4 more. And 3, 2, and 1. And then over to the other side. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and back the other way. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Great, we're going to come into a tabletop position. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, spread your fingers wide, and we'll do protraction and retraction of the shoulder joint. So what I mean by that is isolation of the shoulder. So we push the chest down and then round the shoulders. So we're pushing the chest down and round. We keep the arms straight so there's no movement in the actual spine. It's just the shoulder blades retracting and protracting. Another great exercise to help correct rounded shoulders. Good, and then your lower back, the pelvic tilts. Tuck the pubic bone up towards the belly button and then stick the bum up. So this is only the hips, the pelvis that's moving, and your lower back. It's not a full cat-cow type stretch. You're really pulling up that lower belly, pulling in your pelvic floor like you're trying to stop yourself from peeing, not to 100%, but just active. Exhaling as you scoop your belly, the lower belly in. You can also do this laying on your back, which is a bit more comfortable and a bit easier to really control which part of your body is moving. Good. And then our cat and cow is when we roll all the way into a flexed position, scooping the belly. And inhale, spread the sit bones, open the collarbones. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, push your hands through the floor. Inhale, back the other way. So you want activeness in this one. It's not just our yogi cat and cow, where it's a stretch. It's more of a engaged stretch or movement, if that makes sense. Let's do 2 more. Right, and then our last bit of this mobility warm-up is for our neck and our jaw, which you can do seated on a chair if that's more comfortable. So we want to sit up nice and straight and then pull one ear down to your shoulder and then over to the other side. Keep going. We're trying to keep our shoulders relatively neutral, so not rounding the shoulders, hiking the shoulders up, flaring the ribs. One more on both sides. And then we go chin towards your shoulder and back the other way. Two more. Coming back to center, keeping your neck relatively long. We drop the chin down and lift the chin up. So don't collapse into the back of the neck. I want to control both movements, both directions, I should say. One more. And then imagining that wall behind your head again, and push your head into the wall, and then chin comes forward. Tuck it in and forward. Lengthen and forward. Good. And then imagine you've got a pencil on your chin. And draw a big circle with it. So forward, around, back, other side. Trying to keep the shoulders still, though they want to join in. And my circle is not a very good circle. Don't know what shape that is. And then back the other way. Two more. Alright, now a different kind of circle is chin to chest, ear to shoulder, all the way around. Gentle once again. If there's pain, decrease movement, decrease speed, go around the pain, adjust around it. Mindful movement. And active. Let's go back the other way. Good, and shake it out. Now our jaw is pretty similar. So we open and close. I know this looks silly. And then we've got side to side. I've got forward and back. And we've got our circles. So our wide open and around the circle. Back the other way. Good, and then we've got our forward, back and around the circle. Back the other way. Great. All right, definitely feeling a little bit looser and warmer. So that sequence is obviously a little bit too long to do um, as just a quick warm up or a quick wake up in the morning. So if there are particular parts of the body that you have even extra pain or tension in, then focus in those areas. But if you've got the time to be able to do this whole sequence as much as possible, it will help you feel better. I hope you enjoy it.